A breakup can take one person out of your life and somehow make your entire future disappear. You may know the relationship is over, but your hand still reaches for the phone. You still set down 2 cups. Your mind still expects a life that no longer exists. Why? Because the relationship may end in a moment. The mind's expectations do not. This is episode 3 of The Amazing Mind, a series exploring why we think, feel, connect, struggle, and heal. And today we are asking why a breakup can feel like losing so much more than a person. A breakup is rarely the loss of only one thing. It may also be the loss of companionship, familiar routines, emotional safety, mutual friends, the person you were when you were together, and perhaps most painfully, the future you thought you were going to share. When someone becomes part of our everyday life, the mind learns to expect them. The morning text, the shared meal, the person you call when something happens, the plans for the weekend. These expectations become so familiar that we barely notice them until the person is no longer there. But the mind continues to reach. You hear something funny and think of telling them. You walk past a familiar place and briefly expect them beside you. You check your phone even though you know there will be no message. These moments can feel like failures to move on. But often, they are simply old expectations meeting a new reality. Knowing that the relationship has ended and feeling that it has ended are not the same process. Attachment helps explain why. A close relationship can become a source of comfort, reassurance, and belonging. When that bond is broken, the part of us that seeks connection does not immediately become quiet. It may continue searching through memories, dreams, unanswered questions, or the urge to make contact. Research suggests that intense social rejection can involve some of the same brain systems associated with physical pain. The experiences are not identical, but the overlap may help explain why heartbreak can feel so physical. Sleep may become difficult. Appetite may change. Concentration may disappear. Some people feel restless. Others feel exhausted. You are not weak because a breakup affects your body as well as your emotions. But missing the person may not be the hardest part. Sometimes the deepest grief is for memories that were never made. The home you pictured, the holidays, the journeys, the ordinary photographs you assumed you would someday take. Those memories do not exist, and yet losing them can still hurt. Your mind had already begun living toward them. A breakup does not only change how you understand the past, it asks you to imagine the future again. And pain can become a powerful storyteller. It can turn "this relationship ended" into "I was not enough." It can turn "I feel alone today" into "I will always be alone." But rejection is an event. It is not a measurement of your value. The relationship may have ended because of incompatibility, timing, changing needs, harmful patterns, or choices that need to be understood honestly. There may be lessons to carry forward, but an ending is not a final verdict on who you are or what kind of future remains possible. Unanswered questions can make this harder. Why did it happen? Could I have changed it? Do they still think about me? Is there still a chance? Sometimes we receive useful answers. Sometimes we do not. Closure does not always arrive as one final conversation that makes everything clear. Sometimes closure is the gradual decision to stop allowing an unanswered question to organize your life. This is one reason continued checking can prolong the pain. Looking at a former partner's social media may promise relief or connection. More often, it gives the mind another fragment to interpret, and another reason to keep waiting. For some people, muting, unfollowing, or limiting contact is not an act of anger. It is a way of giving the mind enough distance to begin learning what has changed. Grief after a breakup is rarely orderly. You may miss someone in the morning and feel relieved by afternoon. You may love what the relationship was and still know that returning would not be right. You may have a good day and then feel overwhelmed by a song, a place, or an ordinary Saturday evening. That does not mean you are back at the beginning. Letting go often comes in pieces. Healing begins in similarly ordinary ways. You create a new morning routine. You call the friend you have barely spoken to. You return to something that once belonged entirely to you. You make one plan that does not depend on the life you expected to have. Self-compassion matters here. It does not mean pretending you made no mistakes. It means looking honestly at what happened, without turning reflection into self-punishment. You can take responsibility for what was yours without carrying all the blame. You can remember what was meaningful without continuing to wait for its return. And slowly, we begins to become I again. Not the person you were before the relationship, not yet the person you will become, but someone whose identity was always larger than this loss. Most breakup distress becomes more manageable with time and support. But if you remain unable to function, develop severe or worsening depression, increasingly rely on alcohol or other substances, or have thoughts of harming yourself, please seek professional help promptly. Heartbreak is not a diagnosis, but serious suffering deserves serious support. One day, perhaps without noticing at first, you will stop reaching for the second cup. The phone will remain quiet without controlling the entire morning. A familiar place will begin to hold a new memory. The future you imagined may be gone. That loss is real. But it was never the only future available to you. The relationship may have ended in one moment. The mind will take longer. And somewhere in that gradual return from we to I, another life begins to take shape. Not the life you planned, but a life that is still yours.